Hi, it's Wine Tip Wednesday again here at LDV Winery, and today we're talking about the beautiful fall vegetables that we got chill in the air, and we have some wonderful squashes that we need to think about cooking and pairing them with wines. So today I'm going to give you 3 tips to think about when you're making your fall vegetables, which are harder skinned vegetables, but you want to think about how you pair those with the wine. The first tip, of course, is how you're going to prepare that vegetable. Are you going to roast it in the oven? Are you going to grill it? Are you going to maybe pan sear them with maybe some other spices and so on? So think about the method of preparation for that squash or pumpkins or whatever you're making. The second tip is you need to think about, are you going to make a sweet dish or are you going to make something more savory? The sweeter the dish, the more dry your wine, the more tannic the wine might be to cut through those sugars. So if you're, think about here, I have an acorn squash. You can do this 2 separate ways. So if you want to do this acorn squash, roast it in the oven with some brown sugar and some butter, then I would lean towards a more tannic wine like a Petit Syrah or a Syrah in order to be able to cut through that sugar that you would have on that acorn squash. But then if you're going to potentially make acorn squash soup, which is creamy and rich, you need something like a Viognier to cut through. A white wine would be beautiful with that to cut through the creaminess of that acorn squash. The third tip to think about is your vegetable going to be the star of the meal as a main course, or is it going to be a side dish? And a good example of that is spaghetti squash, another one of my favorites. So if you're going to make your spaghetti squash as a side dish and you're just going to roast it in the oven, take the strands of the spaghetti squash out, mix it with some Parmesan cheese and some butter, salt and pepper, then probably that would go beautiful with a grenache. Something that's light, fruit forward, and it could cut through the butteriness of the squash. But if you're like a lot of people that like their spaghetti squash with some marinara sauce on it, the acid of those tomatoes mixed with the spaghetti squash really needs a bolder wine. So you need a wine that's more tannic, like a Petit Syrah or a Syrah would be beautiful. So try your fall vegetables. They're fun, they're yummy, and pair them with some wonderful wines. If you need any tips, you can always contact me at info@ldvwinery.com. Check our wine tips on our website at ldvwinery.com. And as always, we just want you to be the smartest person at the cocktail party.